I guess I should say that this video is brought to you through the EA Game Changers program, just in case I add any clips in that I've recorded with my early access. Hi everyone, it's the English Simmer here, and welcome back to my channel. And today's video, in which we're gonna go over the last few, I don't even know what you call them, questionnaires? Are they questionnaires? Community surveys. That's what the Sims team call them. See, that's why I don't work for EA, because apparently terrible at branding decisions. But we're gonna go over the community surveys that we've had within the last year of 2020, because we all know that some of them asked about a snowy escape, and now we're getting the Sims 4 snowy escape. One of them happened way back in January, and then there was another one in April. So the one in January kind of focused on relationships, and as you guys know, we are getting a little bit of that when it comes to sentiments, and sentiments are actually coming with the base game update that is happening on Tuesday. So that's very exciting. Everyone's gonna get access to at least some of these sentiments. Some of them are exclusive to Snowy Escapes, but most of them you will get with base game, and you can start exploring your relationships with these sentiments. So in this survey, we had shared experiences. Sim shared repeated activities with preferred Sims. That's not really in this, it doesn't really give you a definition of the relationship that you have. Lifestyles, which does come with Snowy Escapes, is kind of that, but not really. That's just on your own Sim. It doesn't have an effect on anyone else in the world or their relationships. Then we have relationship tones, short-term states such as furious with ex-Sim. That's basically a sentiment. That is basically what we are getting in this update. So if you have a Sim cheat on another Sim, they can be bitter about it. Personal factors affect how well a Sim gets along with another. There's still not a chemistry or a compatibility system. I really want a chemistry system though. I think it would change The Sims 4 so much. I think it would give so much personality. More relationship types have new ways to define relationships, such as bromance. No, that's definitely not coming. Initiated romance. Sims outside of your household can propose marriage. Nope. Still no story progression for those Sims outside of our households. Fingers crossed though, considering that they gave us a couple of these within sentiments, I'm hoping that that means the team are listening to these community surveys, because I know a lot of people were like, oh, I reckon these are just for The Sims 5, the team are trying to find out what we want in The Sims 5. They can't go back and change all of this in The Sims 4. It's too late in The Sims 4 game to do this. However, sentiments kind of show that we're on the right road to maybe getting more of these features. And then shared personal history. A relationship's past impacts the present. See, a couple of people were describing sentiments as memories, and they're not really, because there is a limit on them. There is a counter, so they do start to go down. If you don't have the Sims interact much, their progression bar will go down, and they will lose those sentiments over time. They don't stay forever, at least from what I saw throughout my early access. So it's not really a personal history. It doesn't give you a memory system. It just gives you those feelings that you're feeling towards that Sim because of something that your Sim did that had an effect on their relationship. Although sentiments do make it harder to reconnect. I actually had one of my Sims cheat, and then she tried to make it up to the guy. She also tried to flirt with him. She just tried to be friendly as well. I had her be friendly an awful lot, and it didn't have any effect. He was actually falling out of love with her and friendship with her as she was trying to make it up to him because he felt so betrayed. Back in January, we also got some questions about resorts, which got people thinking, are we gonna get a vacationing resort world? We do just get rental properties, which technically did already exist for vacation worlds. Now they exist though in any residential world, so that's kind of cool, but they definitely definitely are not resorts. I did a video a few days ago talking about the replayability of this pack, and it felt quite negative, but that's because my one complaint about Journey to Batu, like the really big complaint I had, was everything is tied to this world and nothing affects it outside. It would have been unfair for me to sit there and praise Snowy Escape to the high heavens, because a lot of the stuff that you can do in Snowy Escape is tied to Mount Komorebi and you can't do it in other worlds. So I couldn't tear down Batu for that and then not talk about it when it came to Mount Komorebi. However, obviously there's a lot more to do in Mount Komorebi and there's a lot more gameplay in itself in comparison to Journey to Batu. But for me personally, I think resorts would have just like been the icing on the cake. I think they would have really made me feel like this was an expansion pack. Even if you live in Willow Creek, you can still vacation in Willow Creek just in a rental house, which is kind of cool. It's sort of like having a second home, but not really, because you can't travel between the two constantly and you don't pay for that second home. You only rent it out for like up to 7 days. Go on an outing. Take a group on a day trip, such as a family pool day or a mountain climb. Well, mountain climbs are here. As you guys know, excursions are part of Snowy Escape, so technically we got an outing. You can also go hiking as a family as well. And finally, we have define your Sims lifestyle. Choose your Sims activity level, social preferences, habits, etc. Lifestyles are coming with Snowy Escapes, we know that. However, you technically don't choose them unless you choose them through cheats. You just have your Sims do activities, and as they do these activities more and more, then your Sim will start to produce these lifestyles that match up with the activities that you've had them partake in throughout their lifetime. So technically we've got a slice of that. January, I'm now realizing this January survey was literally just like hint after hint after hint. I know the Sims team are like, we don't do hints. I don't know what you're talking about. Sims team, come on now. I actually thought that The Sims 4 Seasons was going to be updated to include some of these, so the fact that we got a full expansion pack for some of these, I'm like, oh. But then thinking about it, I realistically don't think they could have updated Seasons to have all of these in. So we don't have ice skating on a pond. I genuinely think that should be in Seasons anyway. Ponds freeze over, we already have a skating animation. It's very strange that that's not a thing. Snowboarding, we're getting with Snowy Escape. It's a brand new skill in itself. We are getting sledging. You can go down the bunny slope on a sledge with a toddler, with a child, with a teen, or above. Ice fishing, no, this isn't a thing. I'm not that fussed. I don't really do fishing in general in The Sims 4. Mountain climbing, yes, we are getting climbing as its own skill, and you can now go on mountain excursions to the top of Mount Komorebi. Snowmobiling, no, that doesn't exist. Snowshoeing, no, thank God. When I did this survey, I think I ranked snowshoeing so low because I was like, I really do not care. Cross-country skiing, no, we are not getting cross-country skiing, but we are getting downhill skiing. So I said ice skating on a pond was 4. I should have put that up. But then, again, there is ice skating in the game, which is why I think I ranked it so low. I just genuinely think that should be in the game already. I put snowboarding high, sledging high, ice fishing I didn't care about at all. Mountain climbing, I was like, I feel like that's going to be a rabbit hole, so I'm going to give it a 6. Lo and behold, it's its own event now, and you can actually climb up there with a group, which is quite nice. Snowmobiling, that's going to be like jet skiing in Island Living, not that for snowshoeing. I was like, absolutely not. Cross-country skiing, I also didn't see the appeal. And downhill, so actually quite a few of the ones that I wanted are now in Snowy Escape, so I can't even say that who asked for this, because apparently I did. Ooh, and then when it comes to create a sim, so what I would like to see in create a sim that would make it easier for me to create the sims I want. Improved selection of skin tones. That is hopefully coming in December. We actually got an update, which I forgot to do a video on. Maybe I'll do a video on it next week. But we got an update on how that was going, and fingers crossed it's still on track for December. Improved makeup for all skin tones. Again, hopefully it's coming with more sliders for a bigger range of makeup for different skin tones in The Sims 4, which I'm very excited about. And then this was back in the April one. Sorry that you can see my face here. My other one was actually hiding it, and now you get to see my face. So Swiss Mountain Town, we are getting a mountain town, but it's actually Japanese inspired. Ooh, then we got a look at relationships back in April. None of those have really happened. I put 2 down for this because that's basically whims, and I don't think whims are the greatest in The Sims 4. Actually, they just turn them off by default these days, so if that doesn't prove how lackluster whims are, then I don't know what does. However, developing traits over time, that's very similar to the lifestyles that we will see in Snowy Escapes. Technically not traits, but they are like a set of traits that your sim can then live by due to the habits that they form. Consequence of making or breaking relationships. Sentiments definitely appeals to the crowd that wanted this. I definitely felt like it added consequences. I would have loved to see it be pushed even further. I've discussed about how I had my sim cheat and then they just ended up sleeping in the same bed. I would have preferred it to work like in The Sims 2 where they were like, oh, I don't want to sleep in the same bed as you. Someone actually did get back to me in my comments about that. Like, why do we always discourage like multiple relationships, like polyamorous relationships, which I do think right now in The Sims 4 it is possible to have polyamorous relationships. There is a trait that can be added through doing a lifetime aspiration, I think, the multiple romance aspiration, where Sims just don't get jealous of your sim. So technically I do feel as if polyamorous relationships can be added in the game. Yes, I would love to see like a reward store trait so that's easier to access for those people who do want to play out polyamorous relationships, and I can see why like cheating and having that negative effect on a relationship would not be the gameplay for you, but personally I miss it, and I would have loved to see the consequences within Sentiments go just that little bit deeper for me. And then when it comes to gameplay for life stages, I feel as if the team have finally heard our complaints about kids and toddlers and teenagers not being their own people enough. Like, they don't have, and also elders, they don't really have defining characteristics. Anyone from a teen to an elder is practically the same. They can access everything within the game, which is great. I like how they can access everything, but I would love to see more personality for teens and elders specifically, because I feel like young adults and adults have so much dedicated towards them. Snowy Escapes, I feel, is a step in the right direction. Obviously, kids can ski, snowboard, and also go sledging. Toddlers can also go sledging, which is super adorable, and I like how the whole family can get together on the mountain and do family activities. I just want to see that be pushed more at home with home activities that everyone can get to do. I just think it needs to be taken further, but I do feel as if Snowy Escapes is a step in the right direction, and fingers crossed, I hope that the team have heard our complaints about that. So I didn't go through absolutely everything that these surveys covered because a lot of it wasn't relevant to like Snowy Escapes and what I personally saw within Snowy Escapes that makes me feel at least a little bit of confidence and a little bit of hope for the future of The Sims 4. I do take everything with a pinch of salt, but I do feel as if Snowy Escapes is trying to like cover those issues that the community have repeatedly said need work on them, especially when it comes to personality. I mean, lifestyles and sentiments really do show a major step forward. I hope that sentiments can continue to grow. So I've got my fingers crossed that with this being a base game update, future packs may add to this system and also the team continue to update it. I definitely think we still need to give our feedback and our constructive criticism. I know that I've had a lot of constructive criticism to give about Snowy Escapes, but I am looking forward to it. I am definitely missing it from my game right now, I have to say. I just want to get back into it and start playing again. That's usually a good sign when I miss early access, is that I'm gonna enjoy this pack, fingers crossed. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a little bit of a reminder of what we were wishing for back then, where we are now towards the end of 2020. So we've almost had a year between these surveys and this expansion. Fingers crossed things can continue to improve for The Sims 4. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Leave your comments down below. Let me know how you feel about sentiments from what you've seen. Remember that the developers actually did a developer live stream the other day. I will leave a link to that down in the description below in case you missed it. And I will speak to you all in my next video, which is actually going to be a Q&A answering all your questions that you had about Snowy Escape. So thank you guys, and I will speak to you all then. Bye!